All right, Ken, my boy Ken. Man, this episode, he really, he's got it bad for Momo on this one. So Momo's old childhood friend makes his debut, and this immediately puts Ken on alert, sizing him up, thinking he looks cool or that he must be an athlete of some sort. And now let's be honest, every guy has done this to some degree in their lives, where you enter a room and instantly measure yourself up against other men. It's like instinct or evolutionarily based, something you can't help. Like, where would you be placed on the hierarchy together? But then this guy switches up his personality from seemingly cool to, I would say, strange, eccentric, of course, which is not foreign for this show, and just a little bit out there. But Momo seems unimpressed and bothered by this whole situation. Turns out Hot Granny has allowed him to live in their house, causing Momo to freak out even more, with him named Gigi being pleased by all of this, waving his body like those inflatable blow-up advertisement dolls. Ira is confused, still thinking she's a main character in an RPG, and all of this just overwhelms Momo but depresses Ken as he begins to walk home. Momo looks like she can probably read his body language, but attempts to reassure him he has nothing to worry about, waving goodbye to him in this weird cryptic way that just like Ken confused me as well. Like what the like, what the hell is she doing? but then simply just saying bye with him saying bye as well. But knowing they're both leaving with an unsettling feeling of uncertainty. Turns out Gigi's parents are hospitalized, which is why Hot Granny is allowing him to live there while constantly asking, is he a genius? Which I'm not sure why yet, but I guess we'll learn that later. Man, shout out to Hot Granny, waifu of the year. And Gigi just remains to act very peculiar, I guess you could say, but definitely extroverted, but in an unconventional way. Then he switches up to acting normal while doing dishes with Momo, apologizing for making fun of her when they were kids, revealing he can now see ghosts and freaked out from the first time he saw one, making Momo a little empathetic towards the situation, which is why he's come to Hot Granny for help. This is just funny how they switch scenes so abrupt. It goes from this serious scene of him explaining the terror he was in to Turbo and Hot Granny just bust out laughing, and this is what Dan does so well, and I never see it coming. She tells Momo she'll be responsible with taking this new ghost down, which Momo protests to, but eventually accepts with enough convincing. Side note, shout out to the future Seiko cosplayers. Now, next day in school, Gigi makes a flamboyant entrance, and this just made me bust out laughing. Like, look how mad the guys are compared to the girls, man. So hilarious, man. He sits next to Momo and is instantly called annoyingly flashing by her friend, which he takes as a compliment, like any attention from a girl is better than no attention, but then declaring him and Momo boyfriend and girlfriend and are now currently living together. Momo strangles him out of frustration, and her friend doesn't accept this, claiming she's Ken's girl only, which shout out to her for that. Now we switch to Ken face down, depressed in class. The teacher goes over vocabulary lessons explaining the meaning of the word jealousy, which accurately describes Ken right now. He plays out scenarios in his head, feeling anxiety that Momo must really like Gigi a lot. The teacher then describes the words cool and beautiful, which he places on Gigi and Momo, obsessing that she'll fall for Gigi for sure and forget all about him. He tells himself that he's no good and that he must be better, so he goes straight to work and now continue his routine to be cool for Momo, which I'm not mad at. That's good. He's not falling in a pit of depression and instead using it as fuel to at least become fit and stronger. Momo finds him catching him off guard, saying she's making sure another incident with Ira doesn't occur. She volunteers to feed him since both of his hands are tied up, which he responds nervously to, which I don't blame him, but interrupted by Gigi, which annoys Momo. But he surprises her with a snack he knows she loves, and she can't help respond to it like a cat does to catnip. Poor Ken watches them both engage with each other, walking away, thinking it's foolish to assume he could ever match up to what they have. But he's definitely being too hard on himself, in my opinion. But I don't blame him, considering how bullied he's been his whole life, probably thinking it's like a glitch in the matrix he's ever considered to hang out with him at all. Then this freak of nature made out of science to lab artificial body parts comes storming at him, and it reminds me of that scene in Get Out with that guy running straight towards him. Momo tries to stop him, but Gigi annoyingly grabs her, thinking to protect her, catching a glimpse of his junk, realizing he possesses Ken's golden nuts. Now being dragged along like they're parasailing, race music begins to play as Ken gets ready to chase them down, transforming and rushes towards them. And this whole scene is just fucking hilarious, man. This thing is screaming so loud unnecessarily with this racing anthem music playing. I'm drawing a blank trying to recall what's the name of it though. And the animation just matches the intensity. Ken takes the lead, now carrying them, which shout out to Ken for stepping up. Momo finally gets a hold of him, and this reminds me of Breath of the Wild, like one of Link's stasis. Just thought I'd mention that. But he escapes, and I don't even know what to make of this whole scenario. It's just wild. Like, what the hell just happened? They lose him, then find him in the junkyard laid out flat. Momo explains to him all they want is Ken's golden nuts back. Ken pleads and asks her to, say it more delicately, and Gigi is just confused by all of this. Then this feminine lady voice calls out to the doll. He climbs a mountain of garbage to get to her, saying he'll never give up on her. She begs him not to burden himself with her, and then this Jurassic Park similar theme music plays during a sunset. He digs deep to find her and finally does, and it's a female scientific body statue. She wished he didn't put himself through so much danger to find her, and he screams, "I love you." This declaration of love seems to inspire Ken. The male statue tells the female his world used to be gray without her, but it's now so colorful, and these words really resonate so much with Ken. The female statue says he's putting himself in danger by doing this, and comedically pointing out their manufacturing dates are too far apart. Yo, this show is so random. This show is so random, but I love it, man. And that he'll end up like a useless doll like her, or statue, whatever. But he doesn't care, still declaring his love for her, playing out like a cinematic scene in a movie. And all of this truly inspires Ken even more. Funny how a doll's love is inspiring like a human love. Now standing up tall, shoulders back and back straight. And good shit, man. I like to see him full of conviction now. Like he now has a purpose, no longer scared to get his girl, and the episode ends there. Another roller coaster ride of an episode, and I love it, man. Got some good character growth from Ken. I always like to see characters who are portrayed as a loser or uncool or bully, but then start to show signs of, courage, like being resolute and determined, not stagnant and constantly moping around. That can be static and just uninspiring to watch. And I'll make another video to follow this one up with, because there's another scene where I see this occur that made me understand his character more from a previous episode, displaying certain traits I think are really important to take note. But until then, thanks for watching this video. If you haven't already, check out my music on Spotify, link in the description. If you enjoy those samurai champloo, lo-fi, mellow, boom bap vibes, then my music is definitely for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Free think, peace.